in Jack McGuire's description, is the town marshal is mentioned. So the town marshal is just a marshal, and he is the one that Jack McGuire kills. So he didn't really lead a very attractive life. He was killed. That was just the first set of people that are connected. So the next set starts with the state's attorney Fallis. And this guy was mad because his son was born with mental problems. He was born mentally, and the state's attorney is mad at the doctor because his son was born mentally, and he is blaming it on the doctor. This state's attorney, after talking about his child, talks about how he hung Barry Holden. So I go to Barry Holden, and what I see about Barry Holden is that he killed his wife. So that's probably why he was hung. And he is also the brother of Nancy Knapp. So then I go to Nancy Knapp, and so this is obviously Barry Holden's sister, and she is a little crazy because it says in her description that she set fire to the house and she danced in the yard. So apparently Barry Holden killed his wife and Nancy Knapp set fire to her house. So that family is a little crazy. On to the next set of connections. I have Georgia Sandminer. She is pretty interesting. She is a mistress, so she had a bunch of different lovers who were guys, but then she finds the right one, and she falls in love with Daniel Macomber. So Daniel Macomber was the next guy, and he met Georgine on his way home to see Mary McNeely. So there was not really much to say about him, just about he was going home to see this other girl, and then he met another girl, and he fell in love. So then, after he mentions Mary McNeely, I look her up, and all she really talks about is how much she's in love with Daniel. So she loves Daniel, but Daniel did love her, but now Daniel loves Georgine, who was mistress of bunch of other guys, so who knows who else is connected with them. After finding Mary McNeely, I find her brother. Her brother's name is Paul McNeely, and he talks about how he was ill most of his life, and it talks about how he is so thankful for his nurse, and his nurse's name was Jane. And it didn't really say how they were connected or just if they were related of any sort, just that he was so thankful of her and that she was his nurse. Washington McNeely was the next McNeely part of the family, and he was the father of Paul and Mary McNeely. That's pretty much how they're all connected, is just family. On to the next set of connections. Tom Merritt was one that I thought was kind of interesting. This story is tragic, very tragic. Tom Merritt was shot by his wife's lover. So what happened was his wife was having an affair with a 19-year-old, and Tom comes in and he catches his wife having an affair, and he doesn't know whether he should chase after this guy and kill him or not. So he chases after him, and it just ends up that the kid shot him. So it really did not turn out very well for Tom. Next is Mrs. Merritt. So Tom's wife had an affair with a 19-year-old, and who killed her husband is pretty much all that it talks about. And then Elmer Carr. This is the kid that Mrs. Merritt had an affair with, and the one that killed Tom Merritt. And he spent 14 years in jail because of that. So that's how they're all connected. The next set of connections is on to Benjamin Pantier. He is an attorney, so he works very hard, and he lives with only his dog. His dog's name is Nig. And so he just lives with him. His wife kicked him out, so now he's in an old stingy office, and his life isn't going too well. His only friend is his dog. Mrs. Benjamin Pantier is obviously his wife, and she kicked him out. Reuben Pantier is the son of Benjamin and Mrs. Benjamin. He loved Emily Sparks. Talked about how much he loved her, sent her a letter, but he cheated on her. And then Emily Sparks, who was mentioned, she is the lover of Reuben. And then Dora Williams is also a lover of Reuben Pantier. So this is the one who Reuben cheated on. She cheated on Emily with Dora Williams. But this Dora Williams was a mistress, much like all of these other ladies in this town. She had many other lovers, but many died. She would get married, she would find somebody, she would get married to them, and coincidentally they would die just a couple weeks later. So then she would just move on to the next one. Until one day she was poisoned and died. So we don't know what happened to her. She was just poisoned somehow and she died. And then Mrs. Williams, which is the mother of Dora Williams, she was the milliner, the hat maker. So that's how she was connected to Dora. Last couple here, Amos Sibley. This guy knew that his wife was cheating on him, but didn't want to forsake the ministry. So he didn't want to get a divorce, even though that he knew his wife was cheating on him. And he tried, it says that he tried and he worked so hard so that he could make money so that he could divorce her. And then his wife, Mrs. Sibley, cheated on her husband, but her secret is hidden under a mound no one will ever find. So, a lot of these people, everything, all of their descriptions are just their hidden secrets. And who cheated on who killed who. This town is really very interesting. And this is what it would be like if everybody had their secrets engraved on their tombstone. And it was a very interesting book, and I liked it a lot. That's Spoon River Anthology by Edgar Lee Masters.